What's up, sim racers? This is Larry at TJR Sim here, and so I was showing you the new bike for Ride 5 that's coming out. Just kidding. It's not for Ride 5. It's my bike. But yeah, they should add that one to Ride 5. But anyway, I've been absent from the channel quite a bit, started a new job, and have been extremely busy. Actually, I'm also going to be going back to school to finish up some degrees. So, channel involvement will be a little bit limited, but of course I will be answering your questions and stuff in the comments and helping y'all as much as possible. So, just wanted to give a little update to the channel and let you know what's going on. I'm not gone. I'm just a little absent. I got some more important things going on. So, if you didn't know the history of this channel, it started out as Track Junkie Racing. So, if you see these, hopefully these come in. Those pictures, that's me out on track at Texas World Speedway, and I think that one's Texas World Speedway. Yeah, that one's Texas World Speedway as well. I used to race at Eagles Canyon Raceway. Well, I say race, track day events. But I was big in supporting CMRA and CCS racers. Had several of them that I sponsored through the years. Doing this company for 5 or 6 years, something like that. But a lot of fun. I got out on track myself quite a bit, did mock race, and just had a lot of fun. Never ended up getting my license, even though I'd like to still to this day. But I definitely got helped out in pointers and took all the advanced classes. I actually rode an advanced group and had a lot of fun, and trained by racers that I sponsored, as well as other professional ones in the industry. So I'm fairly adept to motorcycle riding. I've been doing it forever in a day. But so this is where the channel started. So I had a lot of fun with that. And after some years, juice wasn't worth the squeeze. I kind of closed that down. Had some kids and went to sim racing. So that's why we have Track Junkie Racing Sim, TJR Sim. So what does that mean for the channel going forward? Well, still going to do sim racing, but I'm also going to start including motorcycle stuff, stuff that I'm very passionate about. So I myself have a Ducati. To show you now, picked me up a Ducati V4 S. And I kind of want to name her Jenny, but she just looks like a Jenny. Anyway, this is my new ride. All Öhlins suspension, electronic. Has every little nanny that you can think of on there, as far as traction control, electronic suspension, ABS, slide control, launch control, heated grips, track lap timing. I said launch control already. Just all kinds of cool little gadgets that it has on there. Wheelie control even as well. It's probably a pretty dang safe bike. Used to, my traction control was controlled with my wrist, but now you have something that can control. Also, it actually even has slide control, so you can back it into the corners a little bit more ease and stuff. So I figured I'd take a picture or take a little video of this bike now before I start modifying it. I did actually day one already add some sliders to it, but for those that are into bikes, you will appreciate that. And if your friends are into them, send them my way over the channel. Share the channel, because I'll be covering both of them. I'll eventually get back into track riding as well, and I'll be modifying this bike to really be a track bike / street bike. I'll probably find some aftermarket fairings, which are a little bit difficult to find, some that are at a decent price for a Ducati. But if you know of any that's a little bit lower, some companies like Attack Racing, they don't seem to be doing it anymore. Maybe Hot Bodies. I forgot about Hot Bodies. But yeah, I'm going to start modifying it. I'm going to put the case covers on there. I got some goodies in a box over there actually right now that I'm gonna install. But yeah, this is gonna be my fun toy. This is actually my dream bike. This is kind of the Ferrari of motorcycles. I've had several of them, the one up on the wall there, that's the GSX-R 1000. And that one was quite a lot of fun. I had it for many, many years. It was 2007 actually, and I got it dyno tuned, and it was all track ready with every engine case and everything that you needed on there, O-Ling suspension and whatnot. But it was putting out 168 at the rear wheel. And I always told myself I would not get another bike until they had something that were over 200 horsepower, because one I mean, I've rode ZX 14s and stuff as well, and they were fast, but they still weren't as fast as mine, and didn't give you that rip your arms out of your sockets feel from the way I had mine geared, plus with the horsepower, and it just ran so smooth. So I was waiting. So lo and behold, they've been in the 200 horsepower at the crank for quite a while. This one here is putting out 214 until I add some exhaust mods to it. Then it's supposed to go up to 226. And then, so roughly it's around 200 horsepower at the rear wheel. So it's a decent improvement. It is pretty much a torque monster. I'm still breaking it in right now. So I've only got a 130 miles or something on it right now. But anyway, once I get to the 600 mile run, I'll be able to open her up and see what she does. But looking forward to that. But anyway, just a quick little channel update of what's going on, and hope you stick around, or at least keep me in your rotation here. I'm gonna have some more bike stuff, maybe some bike installs. Like I said, I already put those axle sliders on there. That's pretty easy. I shouldn't have to show anybody a how-to on that. It's just 2 bolts. Slide it through there, you're done. So, but yeah, pretty good stuff. Let me just add a quick little first impression thoughts of this while I'm here on camera. So, picked this up over at V1 Moto in Houston, and a great group there. And first when you get on it, this thing's pretty loud actually for stock exhaust. It sounds fairly well for stock exhaust. I'd crank it up for you, but you wouldn't be able to hear me talk. But the tires are very sticky for street tires. The riding position is actually fairly comfortable. They've made, this is a 2021 version, so they've adapted the suspension to be a little bit softer if you want it to be. And certain little things they did for 2021 between 2020, like they added the heated grips by default. They added, let me see, what else did they add here? We'll go around the bike. They added these smoke reservoirs for it, which is not a big deal, but they do look pretty clean. They changed the ECU mapping and stuff on it now. That's a little bit different, where they added a different track mode. So if I was to turn this on, straighten her out, so you got these settings here, and let me see, nope, I reset my mileage. So you got street mode, sport mode, race B and race A. So there used to just be race mode and sport and street mode. So I actually like those modes. They kind of say street mode is for kind of rainy days and stuff, but I actually use street mode since this is electronic controlled suspension. I go through and change the street mode to be softer and more compliant for the street, and then leave the other modes, for what they're intended to. Sport mode and race A and race B. I haven't had to run in those modes yet anyway, because it's just on the street. But yeah, good stuff. Front only. See, that's when you go to race B, you want to have ABS on the front only. So cool. But yeah, put it back in street mode. You can see how that works. Anyway, cool stuff. Other things they've done with it. So first impressions, actually getting sidetracked here, showing you some of the options, but the throttle is too loose. So I've already modified that. The throttle, when you first get it, now it's like you can't even turn it. There's no slop in it now. At first, there's a lot of slop, so found some Ducati spacers and took this apart and put the spacers in there, and it took out all the slop. So now it's it's a ride-by-wire setup anyway, so now it's exactly precise. So that was one of the first things I did because that was annoying. But seat is comfortable, a little bit of pressure on your hands, but not too bad for this bike. But the weird thing is I'm 6 foot tall, and this seat height is pretty high. I'm actually flat-footed on one side with boots on, and then the other side I'm on the balls of my feet on the other side. So that's a little weird for me. Usually, like Suzuki's and stuff, you set more in the bike. When you're actually riding the bike, you feel like you're sitting in it pretty well. It's really comfortable for a Ducati, yeah, that's just a little bit of a weird thing. But impression-wise, it's very smooth. The engine pulls like a tractor in top gear. It just has torque for days. It's 214 horsepower, 93 foot-pounds of torque. So it has no problem doing roll-ons through traffic and stuff. So lots and lots of fun. But let's see, what else did I notice about this thing? Throttle was too loose. Seat's a little too high. The pegs are a little bit too high for my liking, but perfect for the track. I'm going to put some different rear sets on there so I can adjust them for when I use it on the street, and then back higher for on the track. I can probably take some sag out for street riding. It's when I first sat on this bike before they finished setting it up, it actually set a little bit lower, so I think they put it in spec before they delivered it to me and set the sag more for track mode. I'm not sure, but I'll have to measure it and set the sag myself and see. But yeah, that's kind of the only things I've noticed. Oh, heat's another thing I noticed. This thing puts off a lot of heat. So a great winter bike. It doesn't cook you going down the road like some people think, but you definitely feel it out of underneath your left thigh with jeans on. You couldn't ride this in shorts. It would cook your leg. But which I don't know why you would ride it in shorts, because you're on a motorcycle. But I guess for those flip-flop wearers out there, you wouldn't want a Ducati to ride around to the store in your shorts and flip-flops, because it would cook you. But anyway, I'd rather wear gear and sweat than bleed, so I wear gear. But anyway, in leathers, you wouldn't notice it. It's not hot enough to notice it, especially if you're out on track playing around and having fun. So, but yep, that's kind of the only couple things I noticed. The throttle's a little too loose to set for initial setup, which they got some spacers out for that, and a little bit too much heat under the seat, but not too bad. And yeah, I guess that's probably the only two. Oh, the seat height's a little bit too high. So that's too high on the seat height. So that's about the three things that are minuses for me for initial impressions. Other than that, this thing is badass. So lots of fun. Anyway, I'll also put some new spacers in here. It comes with a reflector right there normally. I took that eye off, put some titanium spacers there to replace the stock one so I can remove the reflector so it looks better. And I think that's about it. Got some more goodies here I'll put on here soon. Anyway, that's it. I'm rambling on now at this point here. I'm just ogling my motorcycle, but I wanted to share that with the channel. Leave comments if you're a bike rider and you enjoy bikes. I know any sim racer does enjoy bikes. So until next time, we'll see you on the track. I'm out.